Hi folks, it's just me again. About almost 4:30 in the morning, and I've been praying for a while now about um, about the near future. Yesterday, before midnight, I was seeing these stories about bombs going off in the east, in the Middle East, and the potential for bombs going off here in North America. And we know right now, across the seas in Europe and the Middle East, we're at that stage in Bible prophecy where there are wars and rumors of wars. And potentially something is going to happen on a global event. And I have no idea exactly what that is. A couple of months ago, I was figuring maybe it was some kind of natural disaster, like an asteroid or a flood or a volcano or a major earthquake. And that would make sense, and that would allow the one-worlders to get their martial law in order. But now that we've seen martial law is happening in some parts of Europe, so they're already starting it. It's already being practice. The groundwork is already being laid for martial law, which eventually will come upon the entire globe. And so what I can see, based on, what are those verses? 1 Thessalonians 5, 2 and 3, and 2 Thessalonians or 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 1 to 3. Did I get that right? 1 Thessalonians 5, verses 2 to 3, and 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 1 to 3. And again, it's like 4:30 in the morning, and I'm really tired. I'll be going to bed after this. Anyway, what I can see is a basic timeline. That's we're only 4 stages away from the rapture. So from what I can see, we've got 4 things that should be happening before the rapture. I had to put it on paper because for me, in the way that I think, it's easier for me to deal with something visual. So right now we are here, and this global event right here, I believe that's going to be some kind of war that's going to maybe not so much involve the entire world, but the entire world will take notice. And out of that, something's going to happen in the Middle East. And through this war, that's when martial law will start to happen. And a lot of people will be worried about that. A lot of people will think that, oh, this is the one that's going to destroy the world. And that's when the revival will happen. That's when people will start coming back to church, start going to church, just like they did at 9/11. But then, out of that skirmish in the Middle East, this potential war, what people will think is a war, that's when the Antichrist steps in. And he will establish the peace treaty. And when he establishes the peace treaty, people still won't recognize him as the Antichrist. Well, the believers will. But a peace agreement, a peace covenant will be established out of this little war that's going to be going on that creates martial law. And out of that, once the peace agreement has been established, then everybody's going to relax. And they're going to put their trust in this guy that has brought about peace in the Middle East. And when they have relaxed and when they're trusting him, that's when people will say, oh, well, we don't need to go to church anymore. We don't need to pray to God because the Messiah is here. This guy has all the answers. So when the Antichrist establishes the peace treaty, that's when people will say, oh, we don't need to go to church. And that's when the falling away comes in, as mentioned in Second Thessalonians 2, 1-3. That's when he is revealed. So after people stop going to church, it'll be at that point where he will become the global leader. People will want him to be the global leader because he'll have all the answers. He'll have all the answers to the financial problems of the world. He'll say, okay, well, let's get rid of all the different currencies and all the different denominations, and let's just make one global currency. He will already have established peace, and people will say, oh, who can fight against this guy? And he'll say, oh, well, let's maintain world peace in all the city by having in all the cities by having uniformed military police, all dressed in the same colors. So there will be one global police force. And then he and the false prophet will step on the scene and say, well, let's stop all this division with all these different religions. So let's just band together in one religion. So the Antichrist and the false prophet will step on the scene, and that will cause the falling away because people will be putting their trust in the Antichrist. And so basically the Antichrist is revealed as in 2 Thessalonians 2-3. And out of that, once he is revealed, that's when people are going to say, oh, finally we've got world peace. Finally we have peace and we have safety. And we know what's next on the timeline. And that's the day of the Lord, as mentioned in 1 Thessalonians 5, verses 2-3. When people are saying peace and safety, that's when sudden destruction comes upon them. That's the day of the Lord. While everybody's relaxed, Jesus comes back at a moment's notice, and that's when the rapture happens. So, we're only 4 stages away from the rapture. This global event that's happening right now, whatever it is going on, whatever kind of war, it will eventually be stopped. And the one guy who stops it will be the one who gets the credit. People will be relaxed, putting their trust in him. There'll be a falling away of the church. People will stop going to church. And then he will be the guy with the answers. And then the world will completely relax, saying, oh, we don't have to worry about war anymore. Peace and safety, peace and safety. Day of the Lord, boom, rapture. We all leave. Tribulation period happens after that. So basically, from my point of view, after much praying over the past little while, and especially over the past couple hours, that feels right to me. It seems right. So exactly how long those 4 stages are going to take, we have no idea. It could be a number of weeks. The rapture could be the rapture could be here by the end of the year, and that's what I'm hoping for. But again, we don't know. This whole peace process and the falling away, that could take 5 years. It could take 10 years. It could take 12 months. It could take 1 month. We have no idea. We just have to wait. We just have to put our trust in the Lord and just watch the various stages transpire. Keeping up a relationship with the Lord. Continue reading the Bible. Continue praying and continue helping in the Word, out in the world, helping our neighbors, helping our friends and family, and just encouraging them and just letting them know that the rapture is so close, especially when they can see the war starting to build up, and especially when martial law starts to take over. So if we start telling people that one day soon there's going to be martial law, because I believe when the martial law does hit, they're going to shut down the internet. And there's no way we can warn anybody across the seas. This communication that we have here on YouTube and the internet and Facebook, that's going to be shut down for a while. So we won't be able to warn anybody about the coming of the Antichrist. So while the internet is still up and running now, it's time to tell people that there's going to be martial law soon. And out of that martial law, there's going to be a peace covenant established in the Middle East, and it'll be brought about by one man, whoever that is, and that particular man will be the Antichrist, and he will bring peace and safety to the world, and continue to tell them that once people are relaxed and they're saying peace and safety, that's when the rapture happens. So that's it. We're just around the corner, and as far as I can feel inside, it is so close. It is so, so close. And I am praying that it's going to happen by the end of the year, because this world is just crumbling faster than anyone could imagine. There's just so much crime, so much horror going on all over the world, not just in the Middle East. There's so much strife and tension everywhere. So we're that much closer to Jesus being here sooner rather than later. So take heart, folks. We're just 4 steps away from the rapture, and I'm believing it's just months away. So take care, stay in prayer, stay in the Word, and we'll see you in Jesus' kingdom somewhere over there, or maybe even somewhere up in the air. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Have fun wherever you are in internet land and YouTube world. Be a blessing to those around you, because they can really use it. Okay, remember, Jesus rules.